I get everything all situated. It's time. I have my St. Therese cup. I have my coffee. It's Saturday, January the 4th. Can you believe we're already 4 days, and it won't be long till we'll be 364 days into a new year. Yep, getting ready for another one. So, hey, get on in here. We are talking about back to basics. And yesterday, routines are really good, y'all. I love my routines. I love everything about my routines. They make me happy. They make me happy. But you know what helps me with my routines? I can't show you my phone because my phone's on its stand. But we have a little tool on our phones that can help us. That can help us stay on track. Simple little tool on our phones. And if you have one of those devices in your house called Alexa, you know what I'm talking about, those little devices that you can talk to, you can tell it to set a reminder for you and to have that reminder go off every day. Every day. So, use the little clock on your phone to set up reminders. I just got through doing it for myself to remind myself about the 11 o'clock show so that when I'm in Knoxville, I won't forget it. Sometimes time gets away from me when I'm there. So I've set a reminder up 15 minutes ahead of time. That gives me time to get my makeup on, although I put my makeup on this morning when I first got up. That's another thing I'm trying to do this year is to not procrastinate about doing things that's going to set me up for success. Putting my makeup on. I don't wear a lot of makeup, but it's a fun thing to do. So I'm using technology to help me. And I learned this from Ben. He's a techno freak. He loves technology. Technology is a cool thing. We just have to we have to use it to help us get through our days. And sometimes we forget things. So having reminders. Now, I did this early on. When I first started getting organized, I had something called a Palm Pilot. And it was a little handheld computer device for reminders. That's all it was. It had addresses in it, and the dogs won't end, y'all. Should I let the dog in? She's being obstreperous this morning. She's not happy anywhere she goes. Tulip, stop. Tulip, stop. She's not going to mind. Anyway, so let's use technology to help us. It's real simple. Set up a simple routine on your technology just to check you. So we're playing with our book, Chaos to Clean in 31 Baby Steps. We're in day 4. And day 4, that's day 5, that's tomorrow. Day 3. And if you haven't purchased this book, go purchase it. You can get it on our website. And guess what today's is all about? It's about reminders. It says, place Post-it notes above your kitchen sink to remind you to get dressed and shine your sink. Look at that. You can use technology or you can use Post-it notes. Either one work. Either one of them work. So let's remind ourselves. It's okay to remind ourselves. Sometimes you can even just put up a Post-it note with a little heart on it to remind you about certain things. So yesterday we talked about our routines and how we make them too long and drawn out. Do simple routines, 3-step routines. And let that be the waltz for your day. 1, 2, 3. 3 steps. Make your bed. Go get dressed to lace up shoes and swish and swipe. Next 3 steps. Grab a load of laundry. Put it in the wash machine. Go empty the dishwasher. Bam, bam, bam. You get into automatic pilot. And when you're on autopilot, things get done without you even thinking about them. This morning, I had the pleasure of walking into my kitchen to a shiny sink and looking out my front window, because my kitchen is all windows, and looking out to my pond. I have a little pond, and the frogs were misbehaving. It's a little warm here, so they've got spring fever already. It's January the 4th, and they're already making little frogs. So, folks, I'm headed back to Knoxville on Monday morning early to get through the gorge. We have a doctor's appointment at 2:45 in the afternoon, so I've got plenty of time to get a move on. But get this book. And all our sales are ending, y'all. All our sales are going to be ending before long. 20% off on the coupon code of Clutter Free is going away. So get your calendars. If you haven't gotten your calendar yet, you're writing on your wall. So don't do that. Don't do that to yourself. Get your calendar. This calendar is going to keep you organized. Tomorrow on Monday, we'll be in Zone 2. This is sort of a sneak peek. Zone 2, and Zone 2 is when we do our Hot Melt Sprint. Go to savingdinner.com/sprint and get signed up for it. You'll get some stuff in the mail from Leanne. You need to sign up every time to get the emails again. Go, and you get a link to join our Hot Melt Sprint group. We have a lot of fun in that group. I haven't been able to be involved with it much in the last couple of months, but guess what? I still look at it because I love watching these folks. I love seeing their successes. And a lot of you made those New Year's resolutions that you wanted to lose weight. Well, I'm living proof with the Hot Melt Sprint. You can do it. Yes, it is free. It is free to join the Hot Melt. And we do the Hot Melt Sprint every Zone 2. That's how we're going to keep the weight off once we lose it. Is just it's kind of reinvigorating ourselves to this way of eating. Have something hot with your dinner, fully vitamin enriched veggies, and a little piece of protein, and it works. It really does work. I'm here to show you. The Sprint is free. So get signed up for it. Get your calendars. Get your water bottles. The complete cleaning package is still $75 off. Get things taken care of. And get your book. Yep, you can get it 20% off. So, here you go. But let's talk about loving one another. Last night, it's getting dark in here for a reason. I'm going to put this, there we go, that's better. I watched the president's speech last night. I watched it last night. It was yesterday afternoon late. And there was a beautiful lady that spoke. And I think her name is Angel. And she talked about loving one another. She said, we don't have to agree with each other to love each other. We don't have to agree. We just have to love each other. That's the greatest commandment, is to love one another. You know, in Bible school, we sang a song, Love One Another. And it was a beautiful little song. I'm going to have to look the words up. Love one another, thus saith the Savior. Love one another, thus saith the Savior. Children, obey the loving command. So, loving one another is important. When your house is cluttered, when your dishes are piled up in your kitchen sink, when your clothes are in piles on your utility room floor, you're miserable. And when you're miserable, you can't love one another. So you have got to take care of you. Here's the calendar. It's huge. You can see it from across the room. Can you believe it's already 2020? I can't. Time flies when you're having fun. And I've been having fun for the last 20 years. I'm telling you. The last 20 years. There's my sister Dina. So loving one another is the key. That's what Angel said. It's the key. But you have to start with loving yourself. Because if you don't love yourself, you have no ability to love another person. The Bible teaches us to love our neighbor as ourselves. And you have to treat others the way you want to be treated. That's just how simple it is. Would you go kick somebody when they're down? No, you don't want to be kicked when you're down. You want to show somebody compassion and love. Love one another. Well, we have to set the example. We have to set the example for our children. I will never forget. This is something that happened many, many years ago. Justin was 16 years old, so that's 40 years ago. 39 years ago. We were at a movie theater, and a war had started. And at the movie theaters at that time, before the movie, they played the national anthem. And so I immediately stood up, and Justin tugged on my shirt tail, and he said, "Mom, sit down. Nobody else is standing." And I said, "I don't care." I said, "I don't care. I want to stand when I hear my national anthem, and I'm going to put my hand over my heart, and I'm going to respect when the national anthem is played." And so Justin and his friend Richard Allen stood up. They stood up with me. We weren't up toward the front of the movie theater. We were middle ways. We stood up, and then everybody else stood up. You have to set the example for others, and you do it out of love and respect. So now I got a patriotic son. I got a patriotic grandson who believe in standing up for what's right. Well, Deborah, you can leave anytime you want to, and that's just fine with me, because there are a lot of people who are ready to stand up for this nation and for the Lord, and we're here to do it. So we may have a troll in here right now, but we can set the example for others. I'm going to stand up for my nation, and I am not afraid. There's my dog at the door. I am not afraid. Fear is of the devil. But when we love one another and we set that example, then we are doing what Jesus taught us to do. Love one another. Be kind to one another. When you see a need, fill it. Help one another. But when your house is filled with clutter, it pulls you in and says, "You got to take care of me first. You don't have time." How many of you said today, "I don't have time"? I don't have time. How many of you said that today? Give me some frowny faces if you've said that today. That I don't have time. I don't have time. Well, guess what? We all have the same 24 hours in a day. I'm living proof of it. I am living proof. We do have time. We have 2 minutes. 2 minutes can do a wonderful thing in your house. You just don't believe that 2 minutes can accomplish so much until you've done Weekly Home Blessing with us at 2 minutes at a time. You know, people say hate is the opposite of love. It's not. It's not. It's fear. It's fear of what people will think. It's fear of what others are going to do to you. But guess what? I have no fear. I have no fear. Fear is of the evil one. He wants to instill us with fear. Fear that somebody is going to think our house is terrible. Guess what? You can get that house in order and you don't have to be fearful ever again of living in chaos. Can't have anyone over syndrome. You're going to be able to open your doors to bless others. And that's what Miss Angel said in the speech last night that I listened to. She said she was able to open her doors. She's taken in foster children like you wouldn't believe, because she and her husband had the ability to open the door, had the ability to think for themselves, and to do what they could with what they had right where they were. That, I think that comes from a first lady once upon a time, or a president from many years ago. The main thing is we have to get rid of our clutter. We have to get rid of our chaos. We have to let go of our fear. And fear is just perfectionism manifested. Fear is our perfectionism. We're afraid somebody's going to see that we're not perfect. And I hate that word perfect. I was interviewed by a lovely lady yesterday, and with everything that's been going on with Benjamin, she had a cancellation and she was able to say, can you do the show right now? She had asked me a couple of times if I could do this, and I couldn't. But yesterday I could. And I did her interview on Zoom, and it was a wonderful interview. But many times during the show, she said the word perfect as an adjective. And I had to call her on it, just plain and simple. I had to call her on it. And I had to say, find another adjective. I've worked for the last 20 years to eliminate the word perfect from our vocabulary, because perfectionism is what tells us we don't have time. We do have time. We have time to do 2 minutes. When you hear yourself say, I don't have time, set your timer for 2 little minutes. 2 little minutes can be a world of time when we need to get something done. When we tell ourselves we don't have time, that's when we allow perfectionism and fear to reign in our lives. So if your child comes up to you and says, Mommy, will you read me a book? And you say, I don't have time. Guess what? You can sit down and read that baby a book in 2 minutes. 2 minutes. And if you don't get finished with the book, place a bookmark in the book and say, honey, let's go pick up our dirty clothes, and after 15 minutes we'll come back and read 2 more minutes worth. Look how much fun that could be. You could make a game in that reward of reading the book. Don't say, I don't have time. That's the devil working in you. Let it go. Let go of your perfectionism. I'm preaching it. I'm telling you. I am preaching it today. Because I heard Miss Angel talk about how she could do something to help people. And then when her house got destroyed, guess what? Franklin Graham and his Samaritan's Purse people descended on her home and fixed it. We can do this. We can show other people the love and respect, and we can show our country the love and respect. If you live in the United States of America, you need to be thankful. Thankful. We need to pray for our leaders every single day. Pray for them to make good decisions that will protect our way of life. This past week, I've been reading books on the Holocaust and World War II and the Nazis and concentration camps. Sisters, you don't know how good we've got it. We need to be thankful. We need to be thankful that we are loved, that we protect people around the world, that we can show others that we love them. So let's, whether it's, I just downloaded Schindler's List to read on the way back to Knoxville. So I'm going to listen to it. I love listening to books when I'm in the car. My car is a rolling encyclopedia. I don't listen to the radio. I listen to books when I'm in the car. And it really helps me. It helps me to, I live with a human encyclopedia. Robert knows everything. When it comes to history, he knows everything. And he helps me to understand things. And I dig and I learn things. I like to teach myself new things, like new languages and all kinds of different stuff. I like to do this. We have to set the example in love. Love one another. Love ourselves first. Loving yourself, finally loving yourself, is the key, because when you love yourself, you will not allow people to mistreat you. You will not allow others to say ugly things, just like the person, Deborah, who said, "Get me out of here." Go away. If you don't want to be here, you have the ability, I don't have to like what you say about the president. I support my president. I supported my president when he was Obama. I'm going to support every president we have because he was or she will be elected. I respect the office of the president. I don't have to like everything they do, but I have to respect the office. That's how it is. And that's who I am. But I respect the flag. My flag is on the wall right here. And it was made by a veteran. It was made by a veteran. And it hangs on my wall. I'll show it to you right quick. There it is. There's my flag. Every time I walk into this room, it makes me happy. And it was made by a veteran. It's called Flags of Valor. Go to their website. Get you a flag for your house. Makes me happy. Yep. So y'all, have a great day. Tomorrow is Renew Your Spirit Day. Love everybody. You don't have to like them, but you're commanded to love them. You're commanded to love them. I love you all. And, let's be kind to one another. That's just how it is. See you later. See you at 3 o'clock. Bye.